GG's, bro. GG's, bro. Is he hitting him with the J card?
What the hell? Oh my God, no way, yeah.
All right, let's get into it though, man. Let's waste no more damn time. Let's get into the action. We got 4 weeks of nonsense to get through. Nonsense and debauchery.
Chaos, chaos.
For the CKW Liberty belt, I'm going to go according to the records in that like mid-card section. Like if you're in that mid-card section, I'm paying attention to how you do in the first 3 weeks. And then we are going to have that belt fought over in a TLC match on week 4. As for the CKW World Heavyweight Championship, we're going to have 2 qualifying matches, a triple threat in week 2 main event, and then another triple threat week 3 main event. And the winners of those matches will face off in the main event of week 4. And we will have our first champion of season 2. As for the tag belts, well, you're gonna have to wait and see how the tag belt scene is gonna work, because yeah, there's some storylines for the tag belts. In his debut, first we had Owen Dallas in his first match up against none other than Havoc from the Dreams and Nightmares Syndicate. These two have been going back and forth. Owen Dallas, one of the newer members of CKW, and he was looking for anything and anyone to fight, and he made one of the most interesting decisions in going up against Havoc, who had himself a phenomenal first season in CKW. But Owen Dallas wasn't scared of that, as he went right after Havoc to start things off. But unfortunately for the rookie and Owen Dallas, this would be all Havoc, all match long. Championship on week 4. Blow for blow, whether it was outside of the ring or inside of the ring, Havoc was not scared of the new upcoming Owen Dallas. No matter what kind of defense, no matter what kind of offense Owen Dallas tried to throw at Havoc, Havoc was prepared for everything, as he threw them all around the ring in this brutal match. Bro, get down from there. Get down from there. Oh, there's no... Right. After a barrage of offense from Havoc, Owen Dallas had his one moment to try and get something to go his way, as he dropped him off a reversal, and he tries to get his offense going with a nice backflip combo.
Off the ropes. Whoa, what a moonsault. Immediate cover after the impact. 2, he kicks out.
But it would be to no avail, as Havoc gets him right where he wants him, drops him from the middle rope, stunning him and taking him out for a 1, 2, 3. Havoc getting his first victory in his second season, and the Dreams and Nightmares Syndicate already looking to be a dominant force, and we're going to get more into them later on in this episode. As right now we move on to Kyrie Nixon, another rookie trying to pave his way and make a name for himself, along with the babyface Bailey, who is representing for Maggie. Bailey versus Kyrie Nixon will be the first match. A lot of high expectations in this one, as both of them looking to come out the gates swinging, and that they did in this match. But Kyrie Nixon just seemed to be aware and ready for everything and anything that Bailey was going to send his way, as it was a Kyrie Nixon driven offensive match for this one. Kyrie Nixon was showing all of the moves, whether it was inside the ring or whether it was coming from the top rope, but Bailey was not going to go without putting up a fight, as he gets him with a high knee from the top rope. But Kyrie Nixon was fully aware and ready, as he reversed his own move, went up to the top rope for a monstrous leg drop, gloats in his face to try and keep it going, and Kyrie Nixon was not looking to stop at any point. It was combo to combo, hit after hit, where it ultimately led with a finisher by Kyrie, as he gets his first W of the new season. Kyrie Nixon already leading the pack in the CKW Liberty Championship picture. But speaking of that, we have Victor Krueger, who is looking to continue the hot start for Dreams and Nightmares Syndicate, as he goes up against a popular name in the FRO. Fro would be making his debut against Victor Krueger. Victor Krueger with Dreams and Nightmare Syndicate behind him, then Fro. And no one really knows which way Fro is gonna go. But we do know one thing, Fro is going to pack a punch. And you know who knew that more than anyone else? Victor Krueger, as he did not let up on the FRO to start off this match. Move after move, not giving Fro a chance to get some offense in. But the minute Fro saw a window, he took it, countering a move by Victor Krueger and not looking back as he laid out a combo of his own on one of the dead ones. But even after that short little offense, Victor Krueger found his legs until...
Sure we do, the more the merrier.
These two are having a fantastic matchup.
The entrance music by the one Curtis King, the former tag team partner of FRO at the end of season 1. Is there a possible Terminus reunion coming? We won't know, but Victor Krueger was ready as he tried to use the opportunity of Curtis's intro playing. Got a nice combo in on Victor Krueger, goes for the finisher. Krueger able to survive it, but Victor Krueger would not be able to survive the same move twice as the FRO gets him on another drop. And after another 1, 2, 3 by referee Otis, the FRO walks away with his first W, and some would say with a little help from a former friend. Will we find out more about this? Well, stay tuned.
Just tell me.
As we go from one heavy hitting match, we go to a match with a couple of heavy hitters, as is the battle of top 5 contenders. Rick Blade versus Dean McCarthy. Rick Blade sitting at number 4 as Dean McCarthy sits at number 2. These two were definitely going to put on a show for this crowd in the match right before the main event. But the way that Dean McCarthy wasted no time in this one, it was looking all but bleak for Rick Blade, because Dean McCarthy was not letting up. And with Rick Blade having the reputation that he has, Dean McCarthy probably was doing the right thing. But once this thing went out of bounds, Rick Blade was going to go for every tactic he could get in the book, as he almost got a count out on Dean McCarthy, but gets in his own way, arguing with the referee who was going with a fast count. Dean gets back into the ring just in time to continue to serve more combos on Rick Blade. Not to be outdone right when it was looking like it was all but the Dean McCarthy show. Rick Blade found himself an open window, and he started to lash out with some moves of his own, even getting into an ankle lock that Dean immediately got out of.
Before irreparable damage is done.
He was so sure of himself, starting to flex on the crowd with Rick Blade slowly getting up. A drop kick from Rick Blade, but it was just too little too late, as Dean McCarthy had him right where he wanted him. First hitting him with the patented Unprettier, an homage to his former team, Pretty Petty, but that one was not enough, and Dean McCarthy had to think quick to make sure that he could wrap this match up, and he definitely had just the thing. A double curb stomp off of his back. Rick Blade seeing stars as Dean McCarthy gets his first win and putting himself safely in a spot where he could most likely be in contention to be the inaugural champion of season 2.
Oh, let him show his sportsmanship.
What is the 5 fingers say to the face? Slap!
How's that for sportsmanship?
And a sly move from Magic to start off the match between him and Game Hunter, as this match bled over from conversations and arguments behind the scenes where the two wrestlers have had nothing but harsh words to say to one another, and now it's their opportunity to bring it to the ring. Game Hunter would get his opportunity to get a few combos in here and there, but Magic seemed to be prepared for damn near everything. Magic countering this move here in the corner and immediately turning it into some offense, hits him with the cutter off the top rope, and then would hit him with a big knee. This match was getting deadly between the two wrestlers. Game Hunter, not typically known to be the kind of wrestler that he has shown here in this first week, as he has shown a bit more aggression, but Magic, we know him as the Crash Out, so this is nothing new for him, as he is just laying out move after move, combo after combo, and is prepared for anything that Game Hunter has thrown his way. Game Hunter trying to go for the bridge pin here. Magic quickly gets out of it, and the rest was history as Magic stuns him off a crazy double stomp, and he gets the 3 count, and he will go up early in this rivalry between him and Game Hunter. But this first month would only continue to get even more crazy. After what some thought was a controversial W for Fro in his first week debut, we're now seeing Dreams and Nightmares come out together with the reunited Terminus. We saw last week Curtis King's theme play in the middle of Fro's match, which some believe is the reason why Fro got the win. But this match is going to be a straight up one-on-one between Fro and Havoc, with each of their tag team partners watching on the sidelines. And this match started exactly how you expect, with guys looking the way that these two do. Ali! Fro got his hits in, Havoc got his hits in, but this thing was looking like it was a back and forth affair between these two heavy hitters. It worked!
Tensions remain hot.
Right into the pin.
But as things started to get intense, things started to boil over between the two partners who were watching on the sideline.
Even so far, both men down. Collision, middle of the ring.
As we saw Curtis step in and have something to say to referee Otis as he stepped into the ring to make his feelings felt. But Victor Krueger would not go without a fight. Otis saw enough, kicks out both Victor Krueger and Curtis King, and this match is going to be a one-on-one with no partners at their side. You see Fro and Havoc both pleading their case, and this match would carry on and continue with the same level of intensity. Fro dropping out some hits, Havoc trying to go for the core, but Havoc is the one that's going to take advantage and gets the 1, 2, 3 as Dreams and Nightmare Syndicate get the one up over Terminus in their first full battle between one another. Havoc takes the victory. But next up, we have a debut of El Flapjack Larry as he faces off against Babyface Bailey that we saw from week 1. Flapjack Larry, arguably our sole luchador in the company, self-proclaimed luchador if you can't tell.
I am Nacho, the luchador.
But it is no question that Larry is one of our most athletic wrestlers in the company. But Bailey needs to get his first W after dropping his match in week 1, and he is not taking it easy on Flapjack Larry. Flapjack Larry loving to go off of the top rope. Bailey able to get out of the pin there, and he starts a flurry of his own.
He's getting overrun by this.
As he drops El Flapjack Larry, has him stunned, and gets the W. Bailey finally in the winner's column. But from one debut, we have another in Ace Rodriguez taking on Kyrie Nixon, who is having his second match. We saw him debut week 1 as well, but this one was not going to be easy for Ace. As we saw early on, Kyrie Nixon had started off 1-0 for the season, and he wants to solidify his spot in the TLC match for the CKW Liberty Championship, and he does just that with the victory. But that's not the end. Adonis Galliano making his presence felt, as well as the big giant Michael Te'ao. Both wrestlers making their debuts here in week 2, as they are both newcomers to the CKW arena. Michael Te'ao showing that he can be a heavy hitter and is going to be a problem going forward, as you see Adonis not really sure what to do with the power of Michael Te'ao. Michael Te'ao loves to play with a slower pace, walks to his opponents, and makes sure that his hits are felt. But Adonis Galliano, give him his credit. He stays in this one, but once he got Te'ao down, he was not going to give him a chance to get back up. As he continued to throw move after move to try and take him out, it just wasn't enough.
2 just kicks out.
Michael Te'ao drops him with the finisher and gets his first dub in his debut with CKW. But now we have our first qualifier match to see who will be our inaugural CKW World Heavyweight Champion. We have Game Hunter, Rick Blade, and Drip Messiah. All 3 of these wrestlers are veterans to the CKW arena. This is their second year together, and the three of them are up top the power rankings, looking to get one of the 2 slots for the championship title in week 4. And this one started off with a bang, as all 3 wrestlers were looking and throwing their best hits possible. Game Hunter hitting Drip Messiah right in the head and going right from Drip to Rick Blade. And the thing for Game Hunter is he needs to get some momentum with how things have been going on between him and Magic in their rivalry. But Game Hunter not worried about that in this one, as he has to make sure he stays ahead of what Perk Blade is going to send his way. Gets him with the Perk Slam, but Game Hunter gets right back up and able to fight through it and throws Perk right at the top rope. Now it's a one-on-one between Hunter and Drip, while Drip sends Hunter to the corner turnbuckle. And this match is going to be exactly what you would expect. A lot of hits, a lot of moves, and a lot of opportunities for guys to try and take advantage of the weaker link. And right now, Rick Blade going for a submission as Hunter is ready. And not only does he get out of it, he's able to get his own rendition of an RKO to go for the 3 count. But Drip is there to interrupt the pin. And Rick Blade, how does he thank him? Throws him right into an ankle lock, trying to get someone to tap out in this match, but Drip would not be the one. Okay. This thing carries on as weapons are everywhere. Rick Blade hitting Game Hunter off the top rope. Drip using that to capitalize on a combo on Rick. Will this be the moment? Is Drip the one going to move on? And he, in fact, will be. Drip Messiah, the first qualifier for the CKW World Heavyweight Championship match in week 4, and he will be waiting to see who will be joining him next week. But now we move to week 3, where we start off with the crowd favorite, El Flapjack Larry, as he takes on the Samoan Tank, Michael Te'au. Michael Te'au showing that he is one of the dominant forces here early, and the winner of this match will solidify the 2nd spot along with Kyrie Nixon. And as you can see, El Flapjack Larry has a tall task ahead of him, and Michael Te'au not wasting any time, making sure every throw hurts.
Raining down those shots to the back of the neck.
But with El Flapjack Larry out of gas, out of options, a flying headbutt from the top rope from Michael Te'au ends the match, and he will advance and be a part of the TLC match to be the first CKW Liberty champion later on in the month. But next up we have Magic the Crash Out taking on Bailey in a big match. Same rules apply. Winner moves on to the TLC match. And Magic will waste no time. He has a lot on his mind, and gold is one of them. Oh, I'm about to crash out, Holmes.
Oh, God.
Jumps off of the top rope, hits him with a crazy front flip to end the match, and it will, even though he will qualify for the TLC ladder match. He is met by an old friend, Game Hunter. Game Hunter's music starts to hit. Magic and Otis looking for him, but it turns out Hunter was behind him the whole time and sneaks him with a blow, and this rivalry is just getting started. We saw Game Hunter unfortunately miss his opportunity for gold, but Magic still has one, and we'll see if Game Hunter plays a part in that. Next up, we have the beef that needs to be settled, as these two were a part of the match between Fro and Havoc, and they got kicked out by the referees as Curtis King takes on Victor Krueger. The Giant versus the High Flyer, and Curtis is trying to throw everything he can at the big fella, but to no avail, because the heavy hits that Victor Krueger likes to punish you with will be the demise of Curtis King. One blow after one blow throws Curtis from one side of the ring, then gets another opportunity with a flying slam.
Sense the desperation mounting as that last move couldn't finish things.
And takes Curtis out in a quick match and settles one half of the beef. But this is nowhere near over, but definitely going in the direction of dreams and nightmares with Havoc and now Victor getting W's. But here we go, another win and in match. Adonis Galeano taking on Ace Rodriguez. Both wrestlers trying to collect themselves after week 1 losses, but the winners here will get an opportunity in the TLC to fight for gold early on. Adonis Galliano getting himself in a crazy spot on the far end, kisses to the crowd and goes for the far drop kick. It lands, but at what cost? But this match would see Adonis Galliano go deep into his bag to solidify his ticket to the TLC ladder match and possibly be the first CKW Liberty champion, as we have all 4 of our wrestlers for that match. But now we need to figure out who will be the second qualifier for the #1 title, the CKW World Heavyweight Championship. This match consists of Owen Dallas, Fro, and Dean McCarthy. And just like the first qualifier, this one would be full of fireworks. But FRO has some ill intentions coming off of a loss against Havoc. He is going to pinpoint and pick apart either wrestler, whether it's Owen or Dean, as he is going one after the other in the start of this match. But Dean is not one to be frightened of any opponent in front of him. Goes right after Fro, and so will Owen Dallas in his own respect right immediately after that, which would then lead to the two of them going after each other. Dean McCarthy, though, gets him down with the unprettier, with Fro just lurking in the back, breaks up the pin, and he continues to add some pain to Owen Dallas. After dropping him, goes right after Dean McCarthy to get another drop, and Fro puts himself in a spot where both wrestlers are stunned. He goes right after Dean, who has a little bit more life in him, and will he get it? No, he won't. A 2 count, and he survives. The most untimely situation for Fro, and he goes right back over Owen Dallas, but Dean is now up, breaks that pin up, with Fro now catching a break, and Otis not looking. A low blow from Dean McCarthy hits Fro for good measure, goes for the pin on Owen Dallas, and Dean McCarthy moves on to the championship match against Drip Messiah. And only one can come out as the first champion in CKW. But Dean McCarthy, with his low blow tactics, gets him to the championship match. But now starts the biggest week of CKW, as we start off with the first ever tag team battle. But not only the first tag team match, it's for the tag team gold, as Terminus takes on the Spookies of the Dreams and Nightmare Syndicate, Havoc and Victor Krueger. Now individually, Victor Krueger and Havoc both got the best of Curtis and Fro, but can they get it done as a team? We're gonna find out.
Tag titles hold a lot of meaning for both the champions and the...
To start things off, we have Fro on the Terminus side and Havoc over on Dreams and Nightmare side, and Fro, as he typically does, wastes no time getting right into the action, as he is already laying the beat down on Havoc in this one. A lot of heavy hitters in this match, and Curtis, the lone high flyer, looking to make his mark in a way that the other 3 cannot, and Terminus trying to get something done. But Fro right now absolutely handling Havoc on his own. As Terminus gets the first tag of the match, Curtis going after Havoc, continuing where Fro left off, and celebrates a little too early while Havoc gets tagged, and now his old friend Victor Krueger is going up against Curtis again, and a lot like their solo match, it is Victor Krueger getting the best of Curtis once again.
As the arm bars stretch in.
Curtis, though, not trying to give up this fight. Victor Krueger not trying to hear this, as they roll around the ring, where that has to do absolute damage to one shoulder. Somehow Curtis gets out of that pin attempt, but it's not over there. Victor Krueger throws him at the top and drops him one time, goes for a second one right in front of Havoc, and for good measure, a third one to make sure Curtis stays down. But Curtis is resilient, and he's going to get right up after the 2 count. But Victor Krueger, knowing what he's doing and great tag team strategy, gets the tag with Havoc, as Havoc and Victor set up, and they take out Curtis along the way. But it's not over for Curtis, because he finds his second win against Havoc, as he gets a few hits in before eventually tagging in Fro. Now it's Fro versus Havoc. We've seen this match did not go Fro's way the first time, and Fro's not gonna forget that very easily. Dropping Havoc, going for the 3 count, but he gets out right at the 2. He tags Curtis right back in to hopefully continue to unleash some damage on Havoc and go for this victory. Curtis with the smooth kick out of the corner, but he's not done. Picking up Havoc, throws him right back in the corner so he can get ready for another tag and a combo of Terminus's own. And right now, Terminus showing their tag team prowess in this one.
Havoc right now is getting absolutely
Hip drop.
As Fro and Curtis lay out a crazy combo, and Fro wasting no time at all. But Havoc has some fight left in him. He's going after Fro. Fro eventually picks up Havoc, drops him on his side, goes back to Curtis to tag him in. And this is what I'm talking about. The tag work between Terminus and Curtis King and Fro. You're seeing how it works. But Havoc finally is able to get to his corner, gets Victor Krueger out to go up against Curtis King. And Curtis trying to be smart with this one, unleashing a drop kick, feeling good about himself, does nothing. So he tries a second one and the same result. So maybe a third for good measure. And Victor Krueger is just eating the drop kicks like it doesn't matter. So Victor Krueger has him in a grab, but Curtis able to reverse right out of it, but it would not matter because Victor Krueger just continues to show his strength over Curtis King as he gets ready to drop Curtis on the back of his head. But in a surprising move, Victor Krueger deciding to tag Havoc back in after getting not much rest. And this might be a move that could cause dreams and nightmares going forward. Havoc, though, getting the drop on Curtis King, taking advantage of him in his weak state. But in a very uncharacteristic move, throws up a celebration where Fro takes advantage immediately off of the hot tag, goes after Havoc, hits him with the flying headbutt, and then he wants to hit him with one more for good measure as he picks up Havoc and proceeds to drop him, celebrates, goes for the pin, and Terminus, after the 1, 2, 3, will be your first tag team champions of this season of CKW. Individually, they had some struggles, but together they got it done. Next up, we continue the rivalry between Magic and Game Hunter as it starts off with Magic jumping Game Hunter on the ramp, and there's no one able to stop Magic, who is the crash out known across the roster.
Time and place for everything.
The GM sends out some goons to try to get him to stop Magic. Knowing he has a match coming up right after this one, believes that he's done enough damage, walks out as Owen Dallas takes complete advantage of everything that Magic did to start off this match. Game Hunter already starting with a disadvantage as Owen Dallas here looks for his first win of this new season with a rough start, losing in his first solo match as well as in the qualifier.
Into the playbook, force a miss.
Trying to break the hold and is able to do.
But Game Hunter is no scrub. He is going to get some combos off of his own after the slow start and being jumped by Magic early on. And he goes for the pin here early, gets the 2 count, but Owen Dallas gets right out of it with no problem. And this match will carry on with Game Hunter not wasting any time, trying to get some ground back after the rough start.
going forward, but it will be fine. Because in theory, we only have, what, 3 giants?
But Owen Dallas quickly enough able to reverse the knee there from Game Hunter, but Game Hunter reversing Owen Dallas's efforts, and it's just a back and forth effort between these two with a little bit of action outside of the ring. Owen Dallas, Game Hunter going at it, but a cutter from the top rope from Game Hunter looking to get himself evened out with Owen Dallas, but Owen Dallas reverses another combo from Game Hunter, goes down for the 1, 2, 3, but it's not going to count because he only gets him after 1. But Owen Dallas knows what he needs to do. One more finisher can get it done. Won't even need to finish him. Hits him with a crazy move, gets the 3 count, and Game Hunter with a rough start to the month, all at the hands of Magic. You can see that his temper is about ready to boil over as Magic comes out to gloat one last time. Game Hunter walks right up the ramp to say a few words to Magic. Again, remember, this is all right before Magic's important TLC match for the CKW Liberty belt, but that doesn't matter to Game Hunter as he throws the first blow and they are fighting on the ramp. Security and guards coming out from backstage trying to break it up, but it's not working as they are continuing to fight through all of it. but Magic's gonna have to put that to his side. Gets a little blood on the old attire, changes to the new attire, and he's ready to face off against Kyrie, Nixon, Michael Te'o, and Adonis Galliano in the TLC match to determine the first CKW Liberty champion of this season. And as TLC matches typically go, this one is chaotic. Chairs flying, Michael Te'o being the giant that he is in this match. It is fists and bodies flying everywhere. Michael Te'o not hitting the ground yet, even though he went one-on-one with Kyrie Nixon, now taking on Magic. Magic doing a good job trying to respond against Te'o, but we saw it again. The hit just does not affect him. And look at Michael Te'o. There's one body, two bodies going after him, and he has a response for every body, regardless of who it is. Magic trying again to no avail. Kyrie Nixon getting ready to go in and hit Adonis Galliano with a move, but Adonis responds well, but so does Kyrie with the reverse of his own. But at this point, nobody has yet to go for the belt, and Michael Te'o will make his first effort, and it's stopped by Magic immediately. But Michael Te'o is going to continue to fight him off as Adonis and Kyrie Nixon outside of the ring continue to beat each other up. But up to this point, nobody has been able to get the ladder up to go for the belt just yet. Well, right when I say that, here goes Magic. But Adonis Galliano's not stupid. He said, look, man, you ain't getting this, and pushes the ladder over, thwarting his opportunity to get at the belt. And on the other end, Michael Te'o dropping Magic. And look, man, this match is going back and forth, but keep your eyes on Kyrie Nixon as he is plotting his opportunity to get to the belt, waiting outside, waiting for his chance to climb up the ladder. And right when Adonis was getting ready to push the ladder over, Magic stops him. But this time, Magic doesn't stop Michael Te'o as he folds the ladder. But we're going to get another attempt here from Kyrie Nixon. Seeing that there's beefs going on around the ring, he takes the perfect opportunity to climb up. Michael Te'o throwing the stairs in the worst place possible. He's trying to get around him. Magic is interfering with him. Te'o still having some beef here with Magic as no one is paying attention as Kyrie Nixon is just about to get the belt, and he does. Kyrie Nixon is your inaugural CKW Liberty champion this year. And we're going to see how he is going to defend that belt in the future. But right now, it's the battle of the winless as Flapjack Larry takes on Ace Rodriguez, where both wrestlers started off their careers with no wins. Winner here gets, well, their first victory, and both guys were not going to go without a fight. But after a monstrous styles clash from El Flapjack Larry, this one's over. Larry has officially got his first W in the company as Ace will continue to hunt in the future. But now is the main event, the CKW World Heavyweight Championship. Dean McCarthy, Drip Messiah. Anything goes in this match. Extreme rules, weapons, whatever is needed can be used in this match. And Drip Messiah trying to make sure he makes his mark early against the upcoming and the hot Dean McCarthy. And you're seeing all the moves, all the stops, but Dean is not going to go out like that. One quick reversal and the rest was up to Dean to do whatever he wanted to do. I mean, Drip Messiah was struggling from here on out. Constant barrage of attacks from Dean McCarthy, not letting him breathe, not letting him get a break, not letting him get an opportunity to get back in this match. And look, if you're trying to get your first title, this is what you're going to have to do. Even standing on the sideline to jump off of the barricade to take out Drip Messiah. Dean McCarthy unleashing everything he has in his arsenal, so much so that now he has a kendo stick going after Drip Messiah. Now that we're back in the ring, Dean McCarthy goes to the top rope. He's trying to end this thing as soon as possible. Drop kick from the top rope. Down goes Drip, but just in time, the FRO of Terminus is going to come in and try and help out Drip, but is he gonna get there in time as Dean has him for the pin? Drip able to break it up, and Fro immediately to the rescue of Drip Messiah as he goes and he is attacking Dean McCarthy with 3 solid drops. Drip Messiah trying to still catch his breath, But with an enforcer like the FRO, you can take as much time as you need. And now after the drop, Drip trying to take advantage, going for a submission of his own, but Fro's not the only help he's gonna get, as Curtis King, the other half of Terminus, has come to help Drip Messiah. This might be something more than we are expecting, as Curtis and Drip combined for a drop on Dean McCarthy. Has Drip Messiah aligned himself with the tag team champions, but before we can celebrate, Victor Krueger, the Curtis King killer, has stepped into the ring to help out Dean, and guess where he's gonna go first? Straight for Curtis, and chucks him right out the ring. But while the chaos is going on in the background, Dean and Drip are going at it. Drip in a compromising spot, and Curtis gets him with a very needed super kick. And more help comes for Dean McCarthy as the CKW Liberty Champion. Kyrie Nixon goes right over to Drip to try and weaken him and help out Dean McCarthy in his hunt for the gold. This is absolute chaos here. Both wrestlers having help in some of the most obscure places, and all of which are going to be stories that I'm sure we're going to have to pay attention to in the future. But regardless of what else is going on, these two continue to attack and go after one another throughout the majority of this match. And Drip Messiah now able to turn things around, but not so fast. Victor Krueger sneaks into the ring right when Drip had him in a compromising spot. Victor drops him, and Dean McCarthy's going to take complete advantage and become your first ever CKW World Heavyweight Champion of Season 2. Now with month 1 in the books, I can only imagine what will come next month.